so this is a shower that I built earlier this year. I haven't been back to see this barn door glass thing. It's really very nice. I like it a lot. But the reason I'm back here, because I had no hot water. So both of the showers I did in this house were Glaser Bay fixtures. Glaser Bay is a Home Depot product. Look at that niche. That's beautiful. Glaser Bay is a Home Depot product. I don't know that it's sold anywhere else, but Home Depot carries it. And I don't work with them very often. So most shower valves have an anti-scald setting that by default, they set about midstream. So it's not extremely hot and it's not extremely cold, it's just warm. And warm doesn't work for a lot of people. And so all the other valves that I ever put in are pretty self-explanatory. And when they're not, then I'll do a video. And this one is not, so I'm doing a video. Delta, Price Fisher, Moen, they're all pretty, like when you get certain experience with them, it's pretty easy to figure out. This one was a little bit more difficult. So the Glaser Bay, I don't know the model, but you'll be able to see if it kind of matches up to what you have when I take all this stuff off. So you're going to need an Allen key, Allen wrench, if you will, to take off the handle. There's a little rubber grommet that hides the screw, and the screw is very, very tiny, so don't pull it all the way out. And if you do, leave your foot on the drain, because if you drop that screw, then you're basically screwed. And then I don't have my drill gun with me. These screws are extremely long. I'm going to set the camera up on the beautiful niche. I think they're 2-inch screws, something like that. And got to take those out to get to the inside part. The inside part is a little different from what I'm used to, because I had to adjust both. This is the second one. The master bathroom I just got through adjusting, which is why I'm showing this one, because it's a little confusing. One of the reasons I absolutely love this valve, because it has the stops. It has the cold and the hot, and so you don't have to turn any water off to make this adjustment, but you can if you want to, and I usually do because I don't want to get bombarded with water. And then you just screw these left and right ones down so that you don't have any water to the system. Anyway, getting back to what I was getting at. Okay, so you see this little red contraption here? Let me take this shower head thing out of the way. See this little red contraption? This plastic part has a little notch. It's really hard to show. This plastic part has a little notch on it. If you can see it, it's about, compared to the red part, God, this lighting. Compared to the red part, it's probably at about 1/3 of the way. And 1/3 of the way, as opposed to, there's a plus and a minus. So on this red part here, on this side, it's really, really tiny. It's hard to see, but it says plus. And then on this side, it says minus. And then this little notch right here, there we go, that's much better, but I only got 2 hands. And then this little notch right here is not even quite 1/3 of the way over. So you basically just want to pull this this red plastic part out and turn it counterclockwise. Would that be counterclockwise or clockwise? You turn it to the left, basically. So in other words, you're trying to match up that little notch there, right there at the top. If I can point to it right there. You're trying to match that up to that side over there to the right where it says plus. Now the other side actually had to take out the valve cover because this thing will move back and forth like that, but it doesn't want to come completely out. And because it doesn't come completely out, you have to take out the stem that holds the faucet handle. And that's relatively easy, except that it's going to try and turn on me. So hold on a second. Because if I turn it wrong, I'm going to get bombarded with water. And I think the stem is what usually holds it up. Although on the other side I had to take out the valve cover also. Yeah, it comes out now. So now it comes out, I just counterclockwise as far as I can. I don't know if you can see it. I'll do a close-up in a second. As far as you can to the right where that plus is. All right, so right where that plus is. Now you see the notch is all the way to the right. That's scalding hot water. That's as good as you're gonna get. And that's all there is to it. That's how you get your hot water mix better. Because of the anti-scald device, they don't want you to have kids come in here, whatever, turn it all the way up hot, and then, you know, get potentially 120, 140 degree water coming out. So everything is just back in reverse. Put your cap on, got a little rubber grommet, put it past that grommet, and then turn it. It will screw back on the way it was before. Put your cap, your discussion plate, or as some people like to call it, E-scussion. And I won't bore you with the rest. It's just, like I said, it's a reverse of what I just got through doing when I took everything off.
Whoops. Did you turn the water off, right?
No, I never turned it off.
Okay.
So this screw just fell out because I backed it out too much when I started. And you saw me just go to pick it up because I didn't want it to go down the drain. And then you just slide it back inside the inside. Give it a little turn backwards. Give it turn backwards so you know you have it threaded right. And then you'll hear a little click. And now you know how you have it threaded correctly. You push it back on, screw it back down. And that's all there is to it. So now you have good hot water. Another thing too, I just wanted to point out, as I was putting this escutcheon plate back on, I was turning it and turning it and turning it. First that screw and then that screw, I was just going back and forth with it. There's a lot of people that want to put silicone around this cap. And I don't know how it is that people think water can go down and inside the wall. I don't know why that is. People are just fixated on putting silicone. It's not needed. On the inside of every one of these escutcheon plates, there's a piece of foam, and that foam extrudes out a little bit. So when you screw this plate down by virtue of these two screws on any valve cover, you're pushing that foam up against your tile, and therefore you have a watertight seal. I do not recommend putting caulking down there. It's just not needed and causes problems when you're trying to do maintenance. That's all there is to it. That is Glaser Bay shower valve hot water adjustment. There we go. Hey, if you enjoyed that video and you learned something, consider being a Patreon member. $5, $10, $15 a month would help me greatly produce more videos. I make nothing from YouTube at all. If you're gonna call me for advice, please donate $50 for 30 minutes. My link to my PayPal and my Patreon account is down below. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you get immediate notifications as soon as I post videos. And thank you very much for your support.